Well, great news. Eden Park has received approval to host up to 12 concert events annually featuring 6 different artists, marking a significant expansion from the previous limit of 6 gigs per year. Now, this decision follows overwhelming public support with over 2,000 submissions. Local stakeholders, including the Eden Park Residents Association, expressed enthusiasm for the expanded concert schedule. Their spokesperson highlighted widespread community support, with 91% of surveyed members backing the change. Hospitality New Zealand also happy, of course, pointing to the positive impacts on local businesses, particularly for tourism, hospo and accommodation. The Chief Executive, Steve Armitage, highlighted the success of recent concerts, Coldplay and Pearl Jam in particular, that boosted occupancy rates to nearly 90% and generated substantial economic activity. I mean, get these figures. Research indicates every dollar spent on live performances returns $3.20 to the wider community. So the residents are happy, Hospo's happy. Joining me now is CEO of Eden Park, Nick Sautner. I gather he's happy. Nick, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and the CEO of Eden Park is happy too.
Yay, that's what I thought. First question done. Well, congrats, by the way, Nick. Well done. I love gigs at Eden Park. Perfect central location. How long has it taken to get to here?
Well, this process has arguably been 123 years in the making. Hard to believe. 5 years ago, Eden Park was seen as a sports venue. We wanted to deliver a hybrid multi-purpose stadium, and it's fair to say we have delivered. The first concert consent enabled us to have 6 shows in a 12-month period. After the success of those shows, we were getting feedback from artists and promoters to suggest that artists weren't able to come to New Zealand and Auckland without it changed. And I think we gave a level of comfort and confidence to not only the local residents, but also to the promoters to say that Eden Park is the national stadium. It's a wonderful music and sports venue that needs to be used.
I suppose then, I mean, you've described the move as transformative. It's a transformative moment. So how do you envision Auckland's and New Zealand's role in the global entertainment landscape?
Well, it's vital to our ongoing sustainability. Eden Park is a charitable trust. We receive zero funding from council and government. So it's important for us to evolve like any other business. 70% of today's revenue and attendance wasn't part of our business model 5 years ago. And so I'm very proud of the team and our strategy. We've been very clear that we want to see greater utilisation as the area evolves. And I think when we look at the CRL, we will be 7 to 10 minutes from the CBD of Auckland. And so we are incredible. A central CBD stadium. We need to get better in some areas, and not every, like anyone, we're not perfect. But I can assure your listeners that we are committed to continuing to evolve as a business. Our global reputation as a world-class sporting and entertainment venue was only enhanced by Coldplay and Travis Scott. Have you been to a better or bigger event in New Zealand in our history?
It was incredible. What can I just ask, you did say obviously nothing's perfect and there are things we need to work on. What, off the top of your head, what would you like to see improved? What do you need to work on?
Well, we've been proposed as part of the Auckland Council REI process to look at what changes we'd see over, whether it be the next 10 years, to Eden Park to continue to evolve. As many of your listeners would know, that the South and East stands were redeveloped as part of the Rugby World Cup in 2011 with the likes of the FIFA Women's World Cup and a number of changes that the venue implemented over the last 3 years. We've invested $30 million into the asset with LED lighting, new turnstiles, new point of sale, etc. So we just are constantly challenging the perception of what a stadium should be. We're a community asset for Auckland, but we're a strategic asset for New Zealand. And with the Cricket World Cup in 2028, and we know that changes need to be made to ensure that we secure both a quarter-final and semi-final in that event, but also looking at whether it be events like the Edinburgh Tattoo or the men's and women's line series with rugby. How do we get fans close to the action? How do we get food and beverage in their hand quicker? So there's a number of initiatives we're looking at. And then long term, we're looking at the possibility of a footbridge into Kingsland and a roof onto our national stadium.
Ooh.
The great thing about our proposal is that it's 30% the carbon emissions of a new build. And just to be very clear, it's about 1/10 of the cost of a new stadium that would be built downtown.
I bet. Or a roof, Nick. That'd be great.
A retractable roof.
Let's get on
I
to
had
that.
I had that in Melbourne, and it was certainly an asset. Events like UFC and boxing, then it guarantees broadcast and surety. But then we've even been meeting today about events like putting the tennis inside Eden Park or even beach volleyball. That for approximately 340 days a year, we're in rectangular configuration. So why not outside the rugby field look at alternate modes? You can imagine the ASB Classic with between 10 and 15,000 capacity for a men's final or a women's final. How great would that be, utilising existing infrastructure?
Wow. People like to get up close to the tennis though, Nick. I mean, up in the gods, I don't know. You'd have to save me a seat at the front.
Yeah, there's no question. You may have seen what we've done down the western end of the stadium. That has increased our capacity for concerts by about 10,000, but also creating a fan experience on the field. When you look at Coldplay, 40% of people said when they walked away they would come back the next show, but also 60% of those people actually said that they were from outside Auckland or outside the country. So there's some compelling stats around the importance of major events and Eden Park.
Jeez, yes. Can you expand on how the increase in concerts provide flexibility for the artists? Because it says 12 concert events annually featuring 6 different artists. So how do you work out who gets what or how many days?
Well, we know, and there's been sort of conversation around artists that have bypassed Auckland. We need flexibility, and the consent was designed to deliver greater flexibility. We were disappointed that Sunday was not permitted unless it's a public holiday the following day. We know that over 70% of our workforce, those 3,000 staff that work on event days, it's a second job for them. So having concerts on a weekend gives them a second shift. And
people got to get up in the morning though, Nick. Monday.
Yeah, I know, but one of the commissioners actually in the hearing said that if we're concerned about people not being able to get up on a Monday morning or their working week being disrupted, we probably shouldn't have had a concert on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday either. So we live now in an environment where the Countdown in Dominion Road, it's open every day, 7 days a week. We know that our competition is places like the Westfield in Newmarket. So we have to have that flexibility to be able to accommodate artists. The great thing is that if it was for a weather event, we have that ability to now put post moments onto Sunday. You just don't want to have any barriers that get in the way of getting these artists to our beautiful city and country.
And you did mention, Nick, and that was one of my questions. So in an event, you employ how many people?
So up to 3,000 casual staff.
Great.
It's phenomenal when you look at whether it be our catering team, our security team, through to customer service, but then also talking to the local businesses. Last week, the downstream benefits for those restaurants in Kingsland, Dominion Road, Mount Eden, Morningside, this whole area, the Fringe District was pumping. But I'm fortunate to live down at St Heliers, and talking to one of the restaurant owners down there, he was saying that his daily increase would have been in the vicinity of $20,000 a day as a result of the Coldplay people coming. A lot of those are tourists that are coming in from other parts of New Zealand or overseas. So it really is. This is not an isolated economic benefit just for the region around Eden Park. This is across the whole city. And the other piece is that the messages that we've received, that there's no better stadium in the world, the outpouring of love, all of these comments, but places like the new retail outlet down at the airport, they said they saw a massive skew on the weekend of people coming into town and then going to the shows and then buying at the retail outlet out there. So it's been great for the city, major events. You want a city that's about living, working, staying, playing. And Coldplay has demonstrated the importance of major events for not only the stadium, but also for our great country.